Thank you for coming in today. My name is Rihanna. I'm going to be your genetic counselor, and today we're going to be talking about the Pompe disease. So I'm going to give you as much information as I can in order for you to continue your next steps through your child's journey. To begin, let's have some information about the Pompe disease. Now, this begins a few months after birth, where the infants with the disorder will start to experience muscle weaknesses. However, if this is not treated, then this can lead to death in the first year of your child. So, this disorder is an autosomal recessive disorder, actually known as the acid maltus disease. This is also what stores up the glycogen in our body. However, this can cause problems for your other body systems and can develop some health problems along the way, like having breathing problems, a large heart, and muscle weaknesses. Now, as we can see right here in this picture, on the lower bottom, we can see how this disease is inherited. Well, this disease is because of a mutation called the acid alpha glucosidase, additionally known as the GAA gene. The whole purpose of the GAA gene is to break down the glycogen, as we can see right here. Now, this also stirs up the form of sugar that's used for energy, known as glucose. Then begins to form lysosomes, which is the membrane that encloses organelles that contain an array of enzymes, which are breaking down the carbohydrates, lipids, nucleic acids, and proteins in our body. Now, the one main goal of that lysosomes are supposed to do is function as a clearinghouse for our body. And what I mean by that is it ingests as much of the substance like glycogen and turns it into GAA. Next, we're going to be discussing about your both genotypes and how this possibly happened. Since we know that you're both heterozygous parents, we both know that you both carry this disease. Since you guys are both infected because you both inherited one normal allele and one mutated allele, which are passed down to the rest of your offspring. Now, as we see on the left-hand side of your guys' Punnett square, the Pompe disease, big F, is dominant to the normal, little f. And as we see here, since you guys are both heterozygous parents, you're passing down your mutated alleles to your offsprings. And they're taking two copies of it, and they're being infected by this genetic condition. So the genotypes of your children are big F, and big F, little f. On the picture above me, this is also another way how the Pompe disorder can be inherited. Let's say you have another child. Well, there will be a 75% possibility that your child inherited this disorder because every 4 squares, 3 of your childs are getting this disorder. Now, as we look at the Punnett square, we see that the genotypes represent haploid cells, which are one of the egg cells and one of the sperm cells. Now, to make this baby, the cells are being collided together to make this fertilization zygote, which is then developing the embryo. Now, as a result of this outcome, now the genotypes of the parents collide together to create the genotypes and the phenotypes inside the squares, which then determines the outcomes of their offsprings. In addition, each gametine creates one copy of a gene. And as we look more closely at these Punnett squares, they predict the genotypes and the phenotypes of your children. Now let's begin to talk about the stages of meiosis and loss of segregation. During meiosis, the chromosomes are segregated to combine together to create one pair. And as you can see, we have the genotypes on the top and the genotypes on the left. Now, as you see, we can see all the possible combinations in the square that the parents produce for their offsprings. However, I would like to talk about another person who's in your predicament right now. Her name is Shaylee. She was also diagnosed with the Pompe disease, but she didn't let that stop her, and she continued to pursue her career as a freshman in college. In the beginning of her day, she starts driving off half an hour from her school to attend physical therapy. Now, every once in a while, she does visit her mother and take her with her to support her throughout her journey. Although she does experience some risks that she's taking because she's not able to see her brother or her dad at all, but she still tries to. When she first starts out, she noticed she was really weak and she couldn't even play basketball anymore. During those times, she was always benched at practice and was never able to play any real games. So she starts going to go see an archaeologist. They begin to take many tests on her, such as the MRI and the EKGs. Now, MRIs are where they examine your organs and tissues in your body, and EKGs are to test electrical signals in your heart. Now, when she realized she has it, she suffers the first week of being really weak, but also getting this exchange of her carbon dioxide and oxygen shooting up and increasing rapidly. But during those weeks, she starts getting better at doing her usual things that she does out every day throughout her life. She then starts to apply for colleges and look for doctors out there who knows about the disease and to help her with her treatments. She also found a support system out there who also has Pompe's disease and are now supporting her and them throughout their journey together. She also tends to do more research about Pompe's disease and look for any other options to get better within herself. Next, I would like to discuss some options on how you can treat this disease. There's an enzyme replacement therapy, which randomly costs around $40,000 to $60,000. Or you can consider doing a inserted central venous that ranges around about $268. However, there is this medication that you can take that I would gladly like to recommend to you guys, which is called L-glucosidase alpha. It's basically a man-made version of the GAA gene, and it does like any natural enzyme does. However, this will cause the glycogen to build up in your muscles and tissues. Now it's a 12,000 vital, and the doses are ranges around 20 milligrams to kilograms. I would recommend taking this every week. And I would say this whole treatment would probably round you around, I would say $298,000. But that's all I have for you guys today, and I hope you enjoyed all this information I gave you. Please reach out to me if you have any additional questions. Thank you for coming in today, and I hope you guys have an amazing day.